5 mistakes to avoid when trying to lose weight quickly. I know it's tempting to want to lose those extra pounds quickly because you probably want to take control of your health, but unfortunately, losing weight quickly isn't necessarily a good idea, and I'll explain why in this video. Hello everyone, and welcome to II Health Talk 360. If you're new to the channel, we're delighted to have you here. This channel covers all things health-related. We discuss a variety of subjects, including sexuality, nutrition, weight loss, muscle building, sports and common illnesses. In short, we talk about health. If you haven't already, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video. So, yes, you are motivated today and want to lose your excess weight, but be aware that losing weight too quickly can hinder your progress. Losing 1 kilogram of fat is good because we want to lose fat, not muscle. 1 kilogram of fat represents around 7,500 calories. In order to lose 1 kilogram of fat, you need to create a 7,500 calorie deficit between your energy intake and expenditure, and this takes time. While you could drastically reduce your food intake and significantly increase your energy expenditure, I absolutely do not recommend this. The first mistake you often make is eliminating entire food groups. I'm thinking in particular of starchy foods. You tell yourself, I want to lose weight. Pasta and bread make you fat. And you decide to eliminate this food group completely. No more rice, bread, semolina, or potatoes. Why is this a mistake? It's simply because starchy foods are satiating, meaning they fill you up. You stay full for longer when you eat them. I'm not saying you should eat too much of them, but I do think it's important to continue eating them. The key is to choose them based on their impact on blood sugar levels, not to eat too much. Low glycemic foods such as quinoa, buckwheat and sweet potato puree have a smaller impact on blood sugar levels and thus facilitate fat burning. So don't just cut out starchy foods altogether. Choose foods that have a low impact on your blood sugar levels and adjust the quantity according to your needs and appetite. The second mistake you often make is cutting back too much on quantities. In an effort to reduce calories and lose weight faster, you sometimes halve the quantities you used to eat. This can be a good idea if you consume an excessive amount of a particular food, such as 100 grams of cheese per day. In this case, halving the amount is reasonable. However, if you halve all the foods you usually eat and reduce the amount of bread you eat for breakfast by half, for example, then no, it's not reasonable. If that's not enough, you'll get cravings between meals. If you ignore your appetite and needs, it won't work out the way you want it to because you'll have cravings that lead to snacking and sometimes even compulsive eating. In the end, what will happen? You'll hold out for a while, then give in and regain all the weight you lost. So it's really not a good idea. It's better to adjust the quantities than to halve or cut out everything. Adjust the quantities according to your needs. To find out what those are, just listen to your body, follow your appetite, and stop eating when you're no longer hungry. The third mistake you can make is in terms of physical activity, particularly doing too much cardio. I'm not saying you shouldn't do cardio, far from it. Physical activity is important, of course, but doing too much of it, that is doing it every day and a little too intensively, can cause certain problems. For some people, cardio increases their appetite. If this applies to you, I suggest you pay close attention to how you feel when you go jogging, cycling, etc. All of these activities are really good for your heart. Do them, but in moderation and without overdoing it. Sometimes when we want to lose weight, we tend to do everything intensively. Saying that you are drastically reducing your food intake and drastically increasing your energy expenditure risks, causing you to give up everything overnight because you can no longer do it. Cardio can sometimes make you very hungry, so try alternating between cardio and strength training. You should also consider activities that strengthen your core because building muscle mass will enable you to burn more energy on a daily basis, even when you're not moving. The idea is to be physically active and vary your activities without overdoing it. The fourth mistake I regularly see you making is never treating yourself because you've decided to stick to your guns and not give in to chocolate, ice cream, waffles, cheese, cold cuts, etc. By eliminating everything you like, you risk developing eating disorders in the long run, which will harm your health and your figure. So remember to incorporate small pleasures into your routine. Treating yourself by going out to a restaurant and letting yourself go a little doesn't necessarily harm your weight loss program. Pleasure is important in the concept of satiety. When we treat ourselves, we feel full more quickly. The last mistake I often see people making is replacing regular sugar with artificial sweeteners, such as sugar substitutes, aspartame or saccharin. These sweeteners are not good for your health or your figure. At what level does this cause a problem? Put simply, artificial sweeteners send a signal to your brain to indicate that something sweet has been detected. The problem is that your brain expects to receive the calories associated with this taste. However, since there won't be any, it will demand them shortly afterwards. In concrete terms, when you drink a diet soda, for example, you experience the sweet taste without consuming any calories. An hour or two later, you'll feel like eating something sweet. That's your brain demanding its fix. So be careful not to switch to products containing artificial sweeteners. Remember that sweeteners are not good for your health. Studies show that they can increase the risk of cancer. They also disrupt feelings of hunger and satiety. They create cravings and can cause intestinal problems by upsetting the balance of the microbiota. So avoid synthetic sweeteners at all costs. That concludes my tips for today on mistakes to avoid when trying to lose weight. The most important things are listening to your body and observing yourself, as well as not trying to lose weight too quickly. If you lose weight too quickly, you'll lose muscle as well as fat. Furthermore, you risk regaining all the weight, which would be a waste. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments section, and we will be happy to answer them. Help make the community vibrant and share this video with your loved ones who are obese and want to lose weight. They will find these tips useful. We'll see you soon for another health video. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. Bye.